All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Kostroski Show. Let's keep this short and sweet and to the point today. The title of this one is "This Changed My Life," and I want to go rewind about 20 years ago, about a moment in my life where I personally felt like things got better. Early on in the show, I want to pull from a lot of my own personal experiences because it's something that's easy for me to talk about, and hopefully, I can bring something up that might help somebody look at something from a different perspective. Maybe they'll help you. I like listening to what other people say because I like to then try to reevaluate that, see if it's something I can implement into my life, and maybe it can be something that can, I don't know, make things for the better. So, the thing that I want to talk about today, and this to me, it was one of the more liberating things that's ever happened to me in my entire life. Now, from the ages of like 16 and 17 and under, people who have met me later on in my life struggle to believe this, but I was like deathly afraid of people, like specifically people my own age, my peers. I always really, really struggled. I was extremely shy. Every time I can go back 25 years, 30 years ago and think of like every time there was a new kid that would move into our neighborhood, my dad would actively be trying to get me to go over there and talk to him and be like, this kid is here. You have, a bunch of friends in the neighborhood because we've all lived here forever. They're the one that doesn't know anybody. But I, in my own mind as a kid, was just terrified to go talk to new people. So, well, I did have some friends as a kid. I wasn't, by myself all the time. It was a little bit of a struggle, but mostly it was just on me for being way too shy, and mostly shy because I cared way too much about what other people thought, which now that I'm older, it seems silly, but as a kid, I struggled with that. It wasn't just as a kid. I mean, I'm talking through over half of my high school time there. I really, really struggled to talk to kids my own age, just because it was just a personal conflict that I had. So I can think of situations too, like even earlier. This one point that I continue to hound on was I can remember who was considered like the hot girl in our class freshman year of high school. She wrote on the back of her picture, phone number, little heart signs, call me anytime. And what did I do about it? Nothing. Didn't call, didn't try anything. She gave me the open invitation. She was, very, very pretty girl, which intimidated me, and I didn't know what to do. But she literally just gave me the ball right next to the hoop, and I was scared to even try to shoot it. You want to at least try to shoot, right? You at least want to make the effort. And if you get shot down and things don't go out, at least you put forth the effort. I was so scared, I made zero effort. So I'll always remember that. It's just something like later on, you're like, man, not even give it a shot. So in your life, if you ever get the opportunity, great things are only going to happen if you put forth the effort, if you give it a shot, if you try to get things done. And for the first half of my life, I was just hindered by a fear of what other people thought of me. So later on in high school, probably junior year, started drinking some adult beverages like a lot of kids do about that age. What would happen? Maybe had a little bit too much one night, made a little bit of an ass out of myself, which tends to happen when people consume alcohol, especially young kids. After making an ass out of myself, do you know what I found out? Nobody really cared. They were too busy and more involved in their own lives to really care what I did 2 nights ago. And it was this eye-opening event to me that people are concerned with their own lives. They're not really caring about what you did. They're not fixated on the little things that you're fixated about in your own little life. And it was just this eye-opening event to me to not be too concerned about what people thought. You should care about what you think of yourself. And yeah, I'm not a complete psycho. I do care about what my kids think, what my friends think of me, but it's a really small list of me giving any fucks about what anybody else thinks about what I do for a living, where I live, how much money I have, anything like that. It matters what you and the people close to you think. And this took me, like I said, 16, 17 years to even get close to a point where it wasn't like a crippling fear to me. And everybody gets this at a different age. For those who wake up, or wake up, I guess is not the best way. Those who have it from the get-go at 4 or 5 years old and you can just jump out and start talking to people, I mean, that's awesome. I think that's a great place to be, that it's never a fear that you have. And a lot of people never get past it. And then most of us, I think, fall somewhere in the middle, whether you're 6 years old, 16 years old, 26, 36. It tends to be a little bit easier for men to get at a younger age. I used to sell siding and windows for a living, and I got a lot of the single lady leads. For some reason, that was just the demographic I did real well with. So every time you'd find like a single lady, I would go over there. And when you're sitting with somebody for 3 or 4 hours, one thing that I found very common, and I don't know how all of our conversations got pushed down this path, but I found women telling me all the time that just something happened to them, whether it was 22, 32, 42, or 52, where one day they woke up and all of a sudden they stopped caring what the people around them thought about who they were and what they did and what they wore and what their house looked like and how they dressed. And it was the most freeing experience of their life. So anything that you can do, if this is an issue maybe you have, and I know some people have it, some people don't, if it's something that you struggle with, man, if there is anything you can do to move past this, there is nothing that makes you feel freer than not really caring or wondering what other people think of you. I'm currently self-employed. You can see I'm wearing my DraftKings shirts today. I give daily fantasy sports advice for a living. And when I first started doing that, I know like my wife, for example, she was always kind of concerned. She's like, well, what do I tell people that you do? I'm like, well, you can tell them what you want, but tell them what I do. I started my own thing. I enjoy it. Is it maybe, I'm not a doctor or a lawyer or anything like that, but it's something that I created on my own and I'm very proud of it. But you can tell people what you think about it. That's up to you. But it was something that was a big concern in her. When I took on my business partner, Matt, I know he was wondering like what he would tell his, friends and family. And again, all I could lean on was just explain to them what it is that you do. If they don't get it, that's not really your problem, is it? And after a little bit, made sense to him. I know it was a question his wife had. So again, it was a kind of a venture we went down. And because it was outside of the norm, you can get a little concerned about what other people are going to think of it. But why does that matter? It doesn't. It matters what you think. As long as you're not hurting somebody, do what you do that makes you happy. If you want to, I don't know, design kites out of recycled garbage, but you can make a living, do that, go do that. Yes, it's not the quote unquote respectable job that you might get as an accountant or an attorney or as a nurse or something like that, or even a teacher. But you want to know what? If that's what makes you happy and that's what gives you a smile, and that allows you to, life's tough. That allows you to go through life doing something that makes you smile on a daily basis. Go out and do that. It doesn't matter what other people might think. It matters what you think, with the big caveat being, of course, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, right? That's a pretty important thing. But caring what other people think of you, the most freeing thing you can do is get that out of your head. And I don't know what I can tell people to have them get out of their head. It's eventually something everybody has to work through on their own. And for me, I took kind of a unique path. It's not, I don't hear a lot of other people share the story that they got stupid drunk, did some stuff to make an asshole out of themselves. And then all of a sudden they realized that by the next day, nobody really cared anymore. And that you could just kind of move past it. To me, that was just a huge event in my life that allowed me to feel more comfortable, free, and happier. I mean, happier is a big thing for me. And whatever you can do to make yourself happy, that's going to be a big help for people who struggle with that. So again, there's nothing I can do to tell you how to do that, but I can tell you that from my own personal experience and from the experience of others that I've talked to about this, the most liberating feeling you can have is not being obsessed or really caring about what other people think about your business. It's your business. You care about what happens to you. And again, as long as you're not hurting anybody, that's all that really matters. So that's what I got today, guys. Thanks for watching. Anybody who subs to this channel, shares it, or even just gives it a simple thumbs up, it is sincerely appreciated. We'll continue to try to pound out about one video a day, just addressing different subjects. As an audience continues to grow, as I've talked about, I want to get other people on here just to talk about other things that maybe they're experts at. I'm only good at a few things. After, a handful of shows, I'm not going to be able to talk about anything else. But I want to bring other people on and just kind of talk about other areas and just get better as an audience, get better as a group. I want to talk about, we talked about politics the other day, for example, and just us all getting better as people. Anything we can do to improve it. I'm always open to any kind of criticism or any kind of advice or just any ideas that people have. So thanks, guys. Have a good one, and I will talk to you guys soon.